Yes, welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show here on the OddAlerts YouTube channel. In this one, it is game week 3 in the Premier League. We're going to be tackling Saturday's games, and you know the score by now. The target is 1,000 likes. If it gets hit, there will be a video on Sunday as well. So getting straight into it, what we're going to do in this one, I'm going to give you my predictions, and then we're going to go to OddAlerts AI to see what it thinks about the game as well. It's received a new update, so that is why I wanted to showcase it in this video for you all. And remember, as we go through this video and feature every game from Saturday, get your comments in the prediction. Every comment automatically entered into a draw to win OddAlerts Pro. And with that said, here is the winner from the previous Liverpool-Newcastle video. Well done to you. That is a fantastic prediction. Let's see what you've got for us in this episode. Get your predictions in the comments. And of course, whilst you're in the comments, hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are approaching 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. Absolutely superb. Something that was also superb, great segue, was Chelsea against West Ham. Now, again, let me know what you think. Were Chelsea fantastic without Cole Palmer? Or were West Ham just simply dreadful? My early prediction for this early kickoff for this West London derby is 2-0 to Chelsea. Now for this one, I'm just going to jump straight into OddAlerts AI for you so you can get a feel for it. Get a feel for how it gives you the context of the game. It'll show you that it's talking about the last 10 games worth of data. It focuses on the last 10 in terms of competitive fixtures. Tactical and statistical breakdown. Chelsea averaging 2.6 goals per game, 15.4 shots on target, 1.66 XG. Fulham managing 1.1 goals per game. They are not prolific, and their current form in the Premier League, 1-1-1 and then 1-1 again, is sort of bang in line with that, isn't it? Both teams pretty good defensively as well. So my prediction, 2-0. I think the OddAlerts AI, the probability model, will be along the same lines, but we'll have to wait and see. Both teams feature high over 2.5 goal rates, 90% for Chelsea across the last 10 games, 80% for Fulham. Chelsea's over 2.5 goals rate is 70%, Fulham is 40%, so certainly fewer goals where Fulham are concerned. Now then, value betting opportunities under 2.5 goals. Is actually a value bet here. Probability model is suggesting it with 4.38% value, and it's just giving you a bit of an analysis as to why it would support that as well. Under 3.5 goals is 1.51. I think that actually is a pretty good option to add into any bet builders that you do. Under 3.5 goals. And then you could have maybe some shots on target, corner markets, cards for Chelsea at the minute are quite decent. Because 1.51 is nice, and I think even 2-1 you cover under 3.5 goals, obviously. Away win is another value bet as well, so the AI will suggest value bets, and then it will give you its final recommendations here. Under 2.5 goals at 2.28 aligns with Chelsea's 50% clean sheet rate and Fulham's low scoring trend. So I'm going to go with 2-0. And of course, OddAlerts AI, it can suggest correct scores, but most of the time it will use the data, it will use the probability model to give you sensible predictions. That is what the AI is all about, really. So that is the first game. 2-0 to Chelsea is my prediction, and of course get yours in the comments. Let's see who can get all of these right. Next up, Manchester United, who've got their tail between their legs after the Carabao Cup exit. They are hosting Burnley. So Manchester United, after their Carabao Cup exit, head to Old Trafford once more to face Burnley, and there is no victories as of yet for Amorim this season. So this game is huge. Against Arsenal, there was optimism. Against Fulham, there was a little bit of frustration, a little bit of anger creeping in at certain things. Bruno Fernandes and his mood swings again. Of course, he missed a penalty, missed chances in the first half. They hit the post. Very unlucky in some of these games, really, but not against Grimsby. not against Grimsby. That was a very, very poor performance. Onana is just the gift that keeps giving if you're not a Man United fan. He is ridiculous, really. But the other keeper is no better, it seems. So they are looking to get a keeper in. Whether they can do that before the weekend and whether he gets put into the first team for this game, I don't think so. We'll take a quick look at the odds, 1.38. So the bookies really are expecting Manchester United to get the win here. I wouldn't be touching Manchester United to win. I think that's a bit of a trap at 1.38. That is just waiting to ruin your accumulators if you put it on. They are not that good, Manchester United, not at the minute. Certainly as a team, they are not that good. They come into this game with their tail between their legs because of the exit the other night. And this is Burnley's form. One defeat in a very long time. Yes, that was away to Tottenham. Tottenham are a much better side, a much more well-drilled side, even after just a few games for Thomas Frank. This is kind of the point I think that some Man United fans are making, that Amorim really isn't doing his job, to be honest. And Thomas Frank has come in, and one of the things that I would say is look at the formation change. They played a 3-5-2 against PSG, and then just over a week later, they're playing a 4-2-4, fluid 4-2-4 against Manchester City away from home, casually winning 2-0. Very well set up for specific games. Amorim doesn't do that. He's quite arrogant and stubborn, I think, in that he believes his formation can fit into every single game. That's just not football, I'm afraid. So I think he is on borrowed time if he doesn't change and adapt and play a system that fits the players he has, rather than trying to just shoehorn them all in. So my prediction for this one is that Burnley will score, and Burnley will be hard to break down, but I do think Man United will get there. I think they'll make hard work of it, and I think it'll be a 2-1 victory for Manchester United. Get your predictions in the comments, and for now, we'll take a look at OddAlerts AI as well. Man United's 16th at the moment. That's due to change, of course. Very early doors. Tactical and statistical breakdown. Man United averaging 15.8 shots, 5.6 on target. They've had the most shots in 70% of their recent games. XG sitting at 1.39 per game. Burnley with fewer shots and fewer on target isn't really anything surprising, to be honest. And Burnley do have a better defence. I think they've probably got a better defence anyway. More well-structured, to be honest, in terms of the team that's come up from the Championship. Value betting opportunities, the away win and the draw. I'm sure many of you, given the percentage value there, 19%, I'm sure many of you with value betting systems on OddAlerts on the value bets page and the automated value bet alerts, I'm sure many of you have already seen this. Man United's poor home defence, they've conceded 2 or more in 30% of recent games at home. That is absolutely terrible, quite frankly. The draw is also value at 5.85. Under 2.5 goals is value as well at 2.3, as is under 3.5 goals. And again, 1.51, similar to the Chelsea game. I think that's a good option to put into any of those bet builders, and maybe that's one that will make it to our selections. We're going to do a 3 p.m. Bet builder, as we usually do. Don't want the 12:30 game or the 5:30 game to ruin your day. So markets to avoid: home win 1.41. It's getting slightly different odds there because it has access to all of the odds, the OddAlerts AI, so it's picking the best odds. But in this case, it's still negative value at 1.41, negative 26% value. So yeah, I wouldn't touch Man United with a barge pole at the minute. Imagine how many people had them on in the Carabao Cup and they let them down once more. Final recommendations, an away win. Now remember, OddAlerts AI is a sensible companion. It's not suggesting accumulators to you here. It's suggesting long-term, sensible, profitable value bets. So an away win at 8.7, 19% edge, Burnley might not win this game, but if you keep finding value bets like this, long term, you will be profitable. And a 19.1% edge is fantastic. And of course, Burnley have got a good away win ratio, it's saying, but most of that is from championship data. Secondary bet, moderate risk, a draw at 5.22. I don't think that's the worst pick either, to be honest, from the AI. Burnley, not many draws, because they were winning so many games in the championship, but they are going to be hard to break down. They got a clean sheet, of course, in the previous game against Sunderland. That was a massive win for them. And under 2.5 goals is also a value bet at 2.3 and is being suggested here. So my prediction, 2-1 to Manchester United. I think a late winner from Sesko or Cunha or one of the new boys will relieve the pressure from Amorim and the rest of the team. So just jumping back and forth between Bet365 and OddAlerts, and 1.72 for Burnley to score. That might drop before the weekend, let's see, but that is getting added to my basket, as they say. Now on to Wolves against Everton. I was impressed with Everton, especially their defensive work. They did give Brighton a few chances, including a penalty, but they kept a clean sheet, and then Brighton went and scored 6 in the week. So maybe that is a barometer of how good Everton are defensively. And Wolves haven't scored a goal yet, but they got a late win against West Ham. Strand Larsen with a couple of goals off the bench. It's not been the best end of season, really. When the manager came in, they were doing superb, and then they've faltered a little bit. And hopefully they can bounce back. This is a massive game for them. I think they will score in this game. I think Everton will probably score as well, but I wouldn't be banking on that. I think the strengths of Everton are mostly defensive. Of course, as Grealish gets up and running, as he forms a relationship with Ndai, and Barry continues to improve. I think even David Moyes says he didn't want to start him yet, but he felt that they just needed something different at the top end of the pitch. Incidentally, Beto did score in that Mansfield Town Carabao Cup game, which was 0-0 at half-time. Interesting game, this one. I think the previous game was 1-1. Yes, it was, and that would be my initial gut feeling, that it's going to be a kind of tight draw. I'm going to go with, depending on the odds here, Wolves or draw. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. It might not be what I put on the selection, because I'll take a look at the odds and see what else is available. But let's have a look at what OddAlerts AI says. Wolves or draw? I just think they've had a tough start to the season, Wolves, in terms of the games that they've played. And when they're all fit and firing, all their key players, I think they can really give anybody a good game, as they showed at the back end of last season. So let's skip this. You've seen what this is all about now. OddAlerts AI will skip down to the value betting opportunities. Overs is the value play here, 6.31% value. And both teams regularly exceed over 2.5 goals. 70% and 80% for over 1.5 goals in the last 10 games for both of these teams, and 50% for over 2.5 goals. So 5 out of 10. BTTS is 1.97. Well, 1-1 covers BTTS, doesn't it? If that is the prediction. Each side's BTTS rating is 40% though. And the combined attacking output suggests a 50% chance or higher. Away win is value for Everton to get an away win, 3.03. Just 3% value there. So I imagine the probability model is finding this one tough to call. Over 1.5 goals at 1.43, of course. That covers our 1-1 prediction, but also covers BTTS, or maybe a 2-0 Wolves win. Avoid markets the draw, under 1.5 goals and under 2.5 goals, because they are what the bookies are expecting in this game, under 2.5 goals. The primary bet here is over 2.5 goals at 2.31. Secondary selection is BTTS, and Everton are a funny old team. They can, some games, just not look like scoring a single goal. But I think now, with the quality that they've added, they can get a goal from anywhere. They've got Dewsbury Hall, who can pick a pass from anywhere, from deep, from the edge of the box. You can have a shot. And they've got Grealish as well, who is going to drag players and invite players onto him and create space for other players, which very, very good signing that, Jack Grealish. So my prediction is 1-1 for this. Wolves draw no bet as well, or Wolves double chance. Let me know what you think. The prediction from OddAlerts AI is over 2.5 goals at 2.31. Next up, Tottenham against Bournemouth. The Solanke derby, although I think he is still going to be on the bench. For this one, we're going to jump straight to OddAlerts AI and get a prediction. I think Tottenham, my prediction is that they're going to win this game. We can look at the recent form. We can see Tottenham averaging 1.5 goals. They've scored in 80%, and they've scored 2 or more in 50%. 3.3 shots on target per game. XG of 1.21, which is probably below average. And Bournemouth have scored in 70% of their games, 40% they've scored 2 or more, XG of just under 1 per game. Of course, Tottenham now, fresh season with Thomas Frank doing very, very well. Let's skip straight to the final recommendation. So Bournemouth away win is the play from OddAlerts AI. The secondary bet is both teams to score at 1.64. Small positive value bet, it says 1.64. A backup / hedge bet is under 2.5 goals at 2.57. I think Tottenham, yeah, there could be value in under 2.5 goals in quite a few games because they seem to have a bit more control of games. They've not conceded a single goal this season thus far. I think if they are going to concede, it will be in this game to Bournemouth. You would have thought that it would be in the game against Man City. And Man City really could have scored in that game, if we're being honest. There was a few dodgy moments from City, a few big misses, poor passes in front of goal, that kind of thing. So the main bet here is an away win. And again, it's focusing on the value bet. For me, I'm going to go with a Tottenham victory. And what is the odds here? 1.75 for a victory. I guess that's putting a lot of respect on Bournemouth. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. We can also do a simulation, and this will give us a most common scoreline, a prediction for the game as well. Let's hit generate, and we get a 2-0 victory for Tottenham. How does that sound? Another clean sheet under the belt for Thomas Frank. Right, we're going to take a look at Sunderland against Brentford and then jump to Bet365. So Sunderland against Brentford, we'll just take a look at the results because I just wanted to say I actually watched Sunderland in that opening game against West Ham. And of course, now that we've seen West Ham capitulate again against Chelsea, how does it change your feeling about Sunderland? Because for me, I watched Brentford against Aston Villa, and then obviously they beat Brentford as well, by the way. 2 goals either side of half-time. I'm impressed with Brentford. I certainly was against Aston Villa. I think there's a bit of a transition happening there. They're changing the way they play slightly. And impressed with Damsgaard in the middle. I think he's going to be someone that they build the team around. It looks like he's going to be a real central figure for them. Whereas under Thomas Frank, he was kind of an impact substitute at times, didn't really get a strong run in the team. Coyote at right back is just immense at moving the ball through midfield, just powering through himself as well. So I think Brentford can score in this game because of the way they transition, certainly how they did against Villa. That was a home game, but they still played on the break quite a lot. So my initial thoughts for this game is BTTS because I think Sunderland, their home games are going to be massive for them. They scored against Huddersfield in the second half, and obviously they got that 3-0 win at home to West Ham on the opening day. And if we just take a look at the odds here, the bookies are finding it pretty tough to call, and BTTS is 1.87. I think Brentford are going to be okay. I think if you look at that Nottingham Forest game, and we looked at it on the previous Premier League predictions video, the XG from that game, the total shots. Brentford only had 1 shot fewer. I think it was 10 shots to 11. We can just check it again here. Total shots, 10 to 11. And they were 3-0 down at half-time through mistakes. They gave Forest every goal in that game, and the game is done by half-time. When they don't make mistakes and they follow the clear instructions of the manager, I think they're a pretty good team. So for one last time in this video, we head to OddAlerts AI. You can do this on any fixture, and of course, I would recommend doing it on seasons that have had a bit more of a sample size. You can do it on any game on the website. So 2,500 plus leagues available. Brentford score 1.9 goals per game and hit the net in every one of the last 10 games. Brentford also have a higher XG, 1.49 versus 0.88 of Sunderland. Sunderland, for that last bit of championship, didn't score many goals at all. And of course, coming into the Premier League, it's much tougher, but they have really invested this summer. They've got a lot of new players. Value bets, we're looking at a home win, over 2.5 goals, over 4.5 goals. There is a lot of value here, including over 1.5 goals. Let's take a look. The primary pick is a home victory. This offers the strongest value, 13.54%. Secondary pick, over 2.5 goals. I think that could be a nice selection. I'm going to go with BTTS, to be honest. High risk upside, over 4.5 goals at 9s. Could this game get out of hand? Yeah, let me know what you think about OddAlerts AI as well. What would you like to see it do next? It also supports live games as well. As I record this, there's no live games to be able to show you, but stay tuned to X and I will do a walkthrough on there this weekend for some live games, maybe from Australia in the morning on Saturday or something. So now let's jump to Bet365 to put together our 3 p.m. treble or double. Let's see. So I put this together, and this is over evens for Wolves Everton. I'm going to remove one of those selections, but I just wanted to show you it as a double in case you wanted to follow along. I think 1-1 is something I can't get out of my mind for this game. And Wolves to score in the second half. They were very good for this last season. Of course, 2 late goals the other night. And Everton away from home, solid defensively. It could be that this game is a draw or 0-0 or not many goals in the first 45 minutes. And then Wolves come into the game as they did against West Ham, also at Molineux the other night. So I think to avoid a little bit of risk, we are going to remove... I'm going to go with my gut here, and it's going to leave us with quite nice odds. 5.7, that is a lot higher than I usually would go for. If we'd have gone for just over 1.5 goals, it will get us down, I think, to around 3.4, 3.5, which is what I usually aim for. But I'm feeling quite confident about that Wolves second half goal. Let's see, 1.83. So Burnley to get a goal against Manchester United, who conceded 2 questionable goals to Grimsby Town in the week. Burnley will look to exploit set pieces and break on Manchester United as and when they can. It's not going to be easy, but let's see. I don't have much confidence in Manchester United at the moment. Sunderland against Brentford, BTTS, as we explained previously, and then Wolves second half goal at 5.7. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you missed it at the top of the video, 1,000 likes is the target. If it gets hit, I'll see you on Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.